Right, at the end of the day of the Nutrien Equine Melbourne Sale, Mark Barton, congratulations, mate. That's the best way to put it, I think.
Yeah, no, thanks, mate. I think it's a great credit to the whole team, and not just our team. I think the breeders, the preparers, the consigners, and also the people that supported it as buyers in the market. It's what's been a tough period for the Victorian market. It's been a really positive result.
We've got Mr. Pat Driscoll with us too, record-breaking trotting filly, record-breaking filly, I think, here in Victoria as well. It's his 230,000. Firstly, that's lot 333. Pat, congratulations on that. Must have been a great thrill.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Obviously over the moon with the result, and a big thank you to Auntie and to Michael Brennan for purchasing the filly.
Yeah, I'm just going back to Auntie's. He's very excited. Auntie Rowanek, we're talking about. He's actually going to continue to train the horse as well, which is great. He's got the backing in the Lees and Cravens, so it's in a good camp, that's for sure.
Yeah, it'll get every opportunity, and obviously after its racing life, it'll make a wonderful broodmare as it's out of a brilliant family.
Mark, a lot gets said about these sales and the lead up to it. The word massacre was used quite regularly. A lot of worry about it. I know you had some great supports from vendors like Pat, like Duncan.
Yep.
They were positive. They were, and so you're in the right direction. You must be really happy with the way it's ended up.
Thrilled. Look, we've grossed. We're up over 3.2 million. It's been a tougher market. We've seen, for the first time ever this year, though, we've seen fillies out average the colts at both Sydney and in Melbourne, which I think says a lot about the Australian breed. Whether they're trotting gait or the pacing gait, I think it's showing terrific confidence. And I guess credit to people like Pat, and you mentioned Duncan as well, that have brought some of these international genetics into the Southern Hemisphere. And I think both pacers and trotters, I think we've been rewarded with the quality of horse that we're producing here now.
Seems to be hard, Pat. I was fortunate enough to have a conversation with you and Duncan almost at the end of the day, and the middle market is hard. It seems to be hard at a lot of the sales, and it gets a little bit tricky, but when you get the positivity, especially with that filly of yours, I think there's 4 and 5 people. I was on the camera and I was sort of pretty busy going everywhere, and once one person dropped out, another person would drop in.
Yeah, it's quite uplifting, and it's good for morale, it's good for the staff, and it's just good for the industry in general, that if you have a really nice filly, people put their hand up for it. So, and I should say, in no small way, thank you to Mark and the team at Nutrien. They've done an outstanding job, and without them, sales like today don't happen. So in a tough market, these guys have done a wonderful job. So thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And I think you and I can say this. He can stand there and look like a sore thumb, but independent of our industry as well. So they're new people that come into our industry. They invest in it. We had the race meeting on Friday night just gone with the heats. Doing new things, trying new things. It's what this sport needs.
Yeah, exactly. And how good was the race series on Friday night? It was just a wonderful pot puree of different horses, different owners. It was, trainers. It was fantastic. So, hats off to Nutrien. Well done.
Just quickly, the rest of your draft, most of those sold. I think there's a couple that didn't sell, but you would have been wrapped right across the board.
Yeah, and we're still finding homes from now. So, and the couple that I've didn't sell, I've probably placed them already, so they're pretty popular.
On a little side note to that, it's been a magic year for you, selling horses this year. I could release some figures. I'll actually catch up with you at another date, but you've had a great year selling horses. You are a seller. You meet the market and you do put them on the market, so I think congratulations. It's been a really magic sort of 12 weeks for you.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. It's nice to see a bit of reward, and the good thing is particularly all the good fillies are starting to get out there to good homes, and it only argues well for the future of the breed down the track.
Exciting. I'll let you go. I might just keep in for 1 minute as well. You can go that way and grab your drink. It's all good, and go back to the stuff. Mark, the trotting was outstanding. The clearance rate, the confidence, buying fillies, it's great, isn't it?
Well, we're talking about it again, not just to talk about one stable, but the Hurrah's the Trotters, 2-year-old classic, plus the Nutrien incentives. It's terrific money that these 2-year-old, trotting colts and fillies have got to chase, over the next 12 months. We've got the trotting finals for our Nutrien 2 and 3-year-olds in Victoria in late August and September, and that'll be good timing to sort of coincide with the spring and through to the summer racing at the back end of the year. But mate, for us as a business to be able to break an Australian record, filly and pacer in Sydney, and again to see that the Australian record is now held by fillies for both the trotter and the pacer, and broken in what's been economically a tougher time, and we've had no secrets, it's been a tough market here in Victoria, but hats off to the preparers and the breeders and the confidence, or the resilience they've shown. You know, it's always the darkest days just before the dawn. So,
you've said that a few times, and we've tried to be upbeat with a lot of people. It's been tough, hasn't it, going around? We feel for the people that have had bad sales, and unfortunately, we've got. I might just say on the trotters for one sec. Alabar Park, great support, great positivity. You said yesterday Duncan was upbeat. No sale topper, but really wrapped with that, where he's been able to meet the market. The trotters are on the rise. People need to be aware of it. People want to keep knocking on, but they are definitely on the rise.
We've in a tough market, we've sold over $1 million worth of trotters here over the last 5 or 6 hours, and a couple of $1 million worth of paces. I think one of the real take-homes, it was a lot of fun to see a $5,000 horse win on Friday night, which that's exciting for. I guess that the fact that you can still dream and win big, but then to see the people that have invested, you know, like Joel Watson and his syndicate that have spent $200,000 on one, and they invested well again today. They bought horses again, and again, when you go back and look at the Turnbull stable, they also reinvested. So,
and even Alabar, there's a great. I'm going to say it's a great interview. Not necessarily the words I said, but the raw emotion that Brett Coffey has shown today, and that was after the first one sold for 200, let alone when the second one sold for 230. When you go back to Friday night, that $5,000 horse, buy ride high, it sells as well. Been a massive 2 days. Brett's been a great advocate of having the race series on the same weekend as the sale, and the positivity it brings, and it has been brilliant. Brett, you might come back in here. Actually, we're just talking about you, so we might actually get you to come back in here. But it has been brilliant, hasn't it?
Oh, look, and I know there's been a big investment by Alabar in a homegrown sire in ride high. I know Brett thinks the world of the ride high, what he's done on the track, but it's again, you get to the end of the season, and it was someone made the comment, you had 3 of your 4 best presented, which were independent of us, were ride highs in Tasmania, and then you see the type that ride highs produced. And what I also love, not only a ride high wins that, but you see a horse that, Joel Watson's horse won at 120 odd to 1. So there's been some great stories this week.
We're just saying about having the race series and the sale on the same weekend, and there was a lot of nervous people. If you listen to every person that writes something about harness racing, it was the end of the world because Emma and Clayton won every heat, and it ended up being just such a great night, having the race series on it, and it brings positivity here when a $5,000 horse was purchased basically in their butter. This time last year was purchased after.
It was. I couldn't remember.
Didn't actually sell through the ring. It was purchased afterwards. And then they sustained it, paid the $3,000 and win it. But the flow-on effect that has for you, you've invested in Ride Eye, you have Ride Eyes here. It's just, it has worked, hasn't it?
Oh, for sure. I know, we were a big proponent of having it on the same weekend, and I know it's, has been a logistical nightmare for Barto a bit, but appreciate all their hard work, the whole team at Nutrien for that. But like that story with the Turnbulls and Delizio, so it doesn't, generally will probably be the best story in harness racing this year. It doesn't get any better than that $5,000 purchase. And to go on and do that, just amazing. And to see how you're watching your interview with Abby was, it was really cool.
And she's so raw and honest. That was a great thing about it.
Best. Yeah. I don't know Abby much at all, but geez, it was a good interview.
And I was going to say, to see the Herald Sun actually profile her the night before, you couldn't.
It's a curse. It's a curse in the thoroughbreds. Next year, everyone's going to be lining up to get their face on the front of it.
I was just going to see if I could pre-book that actually, Mark.
If you'd like to, I can organise that. But the thing we did talk about, which I'm interested in, what you as a breeder of horses or your team breeding horses. For the first time, the fillies have actually out-averaged in Sydney and Melbourne, out-averaged the colts, and I think that shows the positivity of the Australian product.
Absolutely. I was chatting with Paul before, and it does show that people have faith in the future. It's because it is, it's a commitment. And just thinking, I don't want to get emotional again, but with what we've done with moments like these, that's what people are doing at this sale. They're going to have some great results and go on a journey and breed them, and might sell them, might race them. It doesn't matter. You're just going to have a great time. And there's not much better. Not much better.
It's one of the things that Nutrien bought, the Nutrien experience. It was one of your thirst, and I want to bring it back because I think that's what we've got to start selling, is the emotion. The scenes I was in Cambridge 2 weeks earlier, had a flow-on effect here with those sales as well, with horses there. But selling the dream of harness racing, I think, we've got to sell it. Like today, I got a cuddle from him. I think I actually got 2, and I actually got tears out of him as well. I think it's pretty raw, these things.
I think we talk about being at these events. You go to Sydney, it's world class. It's probably one of the best facilities to sell equine anywhere in the world. You come here, it's the nostalgia and some of the history, and it's a rustic sort of feel. And when you get weather like this has turned on this weekend, it's one of the most beautiful spots like if you look at the precinct, it lends itself, and I'm just looking forward to the next 2 or 3 years when we start to see the industry back where we want it, and see people like the Alabars and all of these people that are invested, getting rewarded for staying true to what's what their business is.
The rest of the sale for yourself today, great.
Yeah. Look, it was obviously a tough market in certain sectors of it, but we put reasonable reserves, realistic reserves. There's only one that we were taking home, which was one in early, so probably just sucked in terms of where you got put, but that's just life. But we got some good prices, and it's just about turning them over. You got to be realistic as a vendor sometimes, and that's where the market's at. And I think overall, I haven't actually looked at the results, but I think it was okay. I haven't actually looked, been a bit busy. But
you had a few sleepless nights leading up to the sale. You'll have a sleepless one tonight. You got no chance to sleep tonight.
Probably not. It's bloody exciting, Paul.
No, it is, and I think well done to Mark and the team. Absolutely. I think they're doing an awesome job. And Mark, we must also give a big rap for Christy. She's said, one
for putting up with Barton.
And me. Don't worry, she has to put up with me at the other side of it. I think
married to you.
No, she's done an awesome job there.
We're just shy of 3.3 with sales that have gone in since last fall of the hammer. We're 67% clearance now.
That's outstanding.
We're averaging 33,300
once people start buying. So.
And that's a huge result this year. Like I say, if you look at the fillies versus the colts, fillies have averaged 38.4, and the colts have averaged 28.6. So we want to breed more fillies, don't we?
No, that's it. I'm gonna, as a breeder, I'll now complain about breeding colts, so. And the weather and everything else.
But it gets back to what Brett says. It's the confidence in what you guys are doing. We need to keep growing it and getting it bigger and better.
Look, and I know this is your page, but
it's not really. It's everyone's.
The effort that you guys put in.
Come on, come and give us a cuddle. You can come in as well. You can come in. It's fine.
for getting around. I think one of the things 5 years ago, we were really keen to make sure that we lifted the profile of the breeder, not just what happens on the racetrack, because this primary product's important. And your passion, and I'm sure if we cut you, you'd bleed green for us. 51 weeks of the year at least. You might have Christmas week off, but I think what Campbell's comments has done for showcasing what the breeder is about, I think that's really important. That I hope that racing stables and owners actually get to understand more about what goes into producing a great racehorse. It's a big job, and I know your passion's part of what that message has been about. So
I'm just passionate about the industry like him, and you get people, even Duncan, you get people, Pat, that they, surround yourself with the right people. Don't get negative. But 2025 will be ended soon. It's actually 2026 because it's already 2025. I was going to say 2024 there for a minute.
What we can say, there will be a winter woolly sale in another month or so's time in June, so that's still to come, and you can buy 500 camp draft horses in Toowoomba in about 3 weeks if you'd like to come on the roadshow with that.
I could end up there, who knows, I might go for a drive one day.
Our roller coaster keeps rolling for a couple more months yet, but
I'm going to say well done to you. Everyone, I've got people that pay me to promote their product, guys like Brett that just opened their doors up, and also we have some random chats on the way home, and he's actually given me an idea for something very different as well. So we've got plenty of things in the pipe works. But
please don't blame me for anything Paul does.
It's going to be your hobbies. What did you say? You make model cars or something like that? Is that it?
I don't make model. Far out.
Brett, I've got the shoes. He's actually given me his shoes. I've ordered a set, so that's fine. So don't you worry.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what colour we come up with next year, mate. So I hope it's something to do with Ride High.
Thank you, guys.
Good on you, mate.
Bardo, well done.
Good on you.
I think it's outstanding. It's great for the industry. I think great effort. So thank you.
Cheers.